What is up, guys? Welcome back to yet another anime news bit. I'm going to get you fully updated on all the anime news of today, including some new adaptations, some updates around adaptations. We have Reborn as a vending machine. So that show's actually still happening, and I never thought it would. We have some tons of new waifu anime coming out. It seems like the new big trend right now is the perfect waifu girlfriend type of shows. We have the return of Frieren, the manga, which is absolutely exciting, especially with the adaptation coming up, and so much more. So if you're interested in any of this news, definitely stay tuned. Let's kick things off with Frieren. Yes, in the wake of the new hype around the anime adaptation, Frieren Beyond Journey's End manga is returning. Shogakukan's weekly Shonen Sunday magazine has revealed that the manga will resume with its next issue on March 22nd. So really fantastic news to come out. It was pretty much on a hiatus since January 18th, so not a long hiatus, but there was a little bit of concern of that one dropping down. But again, with the anime coming up, they kind of want to keep it going so that hype goes into sales. So definitely looking forward to that coming back. For our next bit, we have the staff of the anime adaptation of the Vexations of a Shut-In Vampire Princess light novel has released a new PV and an October premiere. So really excited for that one. When I seen the adaptation announcement for it, was really exciting. And so it's good to see that it's coming really soon. Actually, not really soon, but fall at least with this year, but look forward to that. For our next bit, the official website for the TV anime adaptation of Whisper Me a Love Song manga has released a cast list, visual, and a January 2024 premiere. So that'll be next year in winter. Quite a ways away, but again, at least it has a month. This one, the synopsis is bubbly, energetic first-year high school student Himari falls head over heels for her senpai Yori after hearing her band perform on the first day of school. Himari tells Yori that she just loves her, and to Himari's surprise, Yori says she loves Himari back. But when Himari realizes she and her senpai are feeling two different kinds of love, she begins to ask herself what love really means. I think the concept here is that, you know, one's saying pretty much liking the other person, whereas the other one's actually saying romantically loving the other person, which, again, is kind of one of those aspects of the weirdness of language itself. We have that with pretty much everything in every single language in some way, shape, or form, but sounds cute. Might be a really solid little Yuri show. Looking forward to it. Moving on, Kadokawa has announced that Alya sometimes hides her feeling in Russian light novel is getting a TV anime adaptation. My gosh, I can't wait to hear this broken Russian. I can't wait to hear it. Elisa oh my gosh, I'm gonna butcher this name, so I'm not gonna say it. Elisa Kujo is Seiden Private Academy's solitary princess. She's a half-Russian beauty with silver hair, at the top of her class student council accountant, and completely unapproachable. For some reason, she has taken a responsibility of reprimanding the slacker who sits next to her in class. Masachika Kuze is constantly frustrating her by falling asleep, forgetting his textbook, and just being an overall unexemplary student. Or at least, that's how it looks like from the outside. She may be putting on a tough act, but she doesn't mind Masachika as much as others would think. She even lets him call her by her nickname, Alya. Anyone hearing the comments she mutters in Russian under her breath might know how she really feels. But since none of the other classmates understand the language, she is free to say whatever she likes. Except, there is one person who knows what she's saying. Masachika eavesdrops on her embarrassing revelations, pretending to be clueless, and all the while wondering what her flirtatious comments actually mean. I kind of knew that was kind of where it was going to go. I sort of knew that was the direction it was going. Really long synopsis, but a good punchline to it. I like a good synopsis with a good punchline, even if it is long. That sounds really, really funny. But again, going back to that whole thing of there's like 15 news articles in this week's drop that are just nothing but waifus. Which, let's get into one of them right now. The official website for the TV anime adaptation of The Story of a Small Senior in My Company manga has released a PV, a visual, and a July premiere. So yeah, make sure to go out there and check out the PV. Just pretty much Lolly's co-worker girl that's super cute and well endowed, which again is all the rave right now. The office romantic comedy centers on the new employee Takuma Shinzuka and Shiori Katase, his short, big-chested, charming superior at work who cares about her subordinates. Simple synopsis. It's probably going to be a very simple show. Just go watch it for the waifu. That's all it's really there for. I don't know. There could be some really deep, thought-provoking story there. Highly doubt it. The staff for the TV anime You Were Experienced, I Wasn't, and This Is How We Started Dating has released a new PV, cast list, staff, and a 2023 premiere. So this one was like kind of interesting because when they released the trailer on YouTube, they seem to have disabled the comments. So I'm kind of wondering what happened in the comments, because there's several other ones on the actual channel itself that are for the light novel, and all those comments aren't disabled, but kind of makes me wonder if there was a little bit of controversy around this PV. The PV seems fine. I mean, it's this concept of this guy essentially confessing his love to this Gyaru, and she's very experienced, as the title would lead you to believe. And so when they get back to his place after she accepts his proposal to be his girlfriend, she immediately starts taking off her clothes, and he's like, well, what are you doing? As main characters typically do. But yeah, the novel centers around this guy who is a gloomy social outcast and this one girl who's the most popular girl in school. Their relationships begin when he decides to ask her out as part of losing a game. She ends up going out with them, and after saying, well, I'm free right now after all, they have completely different social circles and completely different hobbies, but as they hang out with each other, they begin to recognize and accept those differences as something to bond over. So it's going to probably be one of those things where it's the typical misunderstanding of what somebody is, but it almost seems like it's also kind of the idea of coming together rather than it being a lack of understanding. So she's super cute though. As usual, the Gyarus always look super cute, so we'll see how that one turns out, and if it's going to be controversial, as the comments lead me to believe. Moving on, the official website for TV anime Berserk of Gluttany has released a PV, teaser, and a 2023 premiere. This one, the synopsis is, Fate Graphite is one of the Forsaken, cursed with the skill Gluttany. He is ever starving, never satiated, until one day he kills a dying thief and devours the man's strength and his soul. The true hunger of Fate's gluttony has awakened, and if he can learn to control his power, he will be the last to be master of his own destiny. Super edgy. Cannot wait. Super edgy. Cannot wait. Moving on, the official Twitter account for Hobusha's weekly Manga Times magazine has announced that If My Wife Became an Elementary School Student manga is getting a TV anime adaptation. Actually, no, it's getting an anime adaptation, but they haven't announced the format. It's probably going to be TV anime. The manga centers around Keisuke Nijima, a man who remains broken-hearted 10 years after his wife, Takae, passed away. But one day, an elementary school student comes to his house and says that she is Takae, reincarnated as a different girl. Now, Keisuke is trying to make up for lost time, while Takae struggles as a grade schooler with the mind of a woman in her 40s, trying to create situations where she can meet Keisuke. I love it. It sounds so wrong, but I love it. I love it. It can go in some really bad directions, let's be perfectly honest, but it sounds wholesome. Just the idea that they want to get caught up. They want to talk. He wants to talk to his wife, and they're gonna have this comedy probably around the idea that she's constantly trying to get around somebody seeing her sneak over to his place and think that he's trying to get with an elementary school student. I think it's gonna be really funny, hopefully. We'll see. It kind of reminds me of like Ricotta and Ranzel, sort of, in the idea that like with Ricotta and Ranzel, it's like this boy that's really young, but his body matured really fast, so he looks like a 20-year-old. But he's walking around with like this elementary school backpack and stuff, and everybody thinks like he's hanging out with these girls and stuff, and he's a predator. It's so wrong, but it's so funny. For next bit, we have 9th compiled book for Gushing Over Magical Girls. Manga has announced that the series will be getting a TV anime adaptation. This one looks super risque. This is one of those ones where either they're gonna really significantly change the art style, or it's question mark if it's gonna hit the West. Because yeah, there's a lot of protruding points in certain areas. You could maybe see it on the key art on the screen that might get me flagged. The synopsis is, hi, I'm Hiragi Utena. I'm a normal magical girl loving middle school girl. Or at least I was. But then some talking mascot showed up out of the blue and cast a spell on me. Now's my chance to join my beloved magical girls as a villain? Hang on, something's wrong with my outfit. This can't be happening. Watch this shy magical girl fan transform into sadistic dominatrix. When good and evil collide, who will be the one to submit? I love these weird twists to magical girl. Sometimes it really massively fails, but sometimes it really, really works. So I'll be interested in seeing this one. But again, if it even comes to the West, because it looks pretty interesting style-wise. Moving on, the official website for the TV anime The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses has released PV, key art, and a July premiere. Super excited for this one. I honestly, when they first announced this one, I was like, okay, this looks super cute. The girl, whenever she doesn't have her glasses, she's got that little squinty eye thing going on. It looks really cute. But my gosh, this PV, go check it out. I was super shocked how much polish that PV had. I wasn't expecting the series to have not like a massive budget, but to look that polished with that much of a filter on it to make it look more photorealistic and stuff like that. So super interesting. I will always say, anime, you guys don't know how to do glasses. If that girl has, it insinuates that when she takes off her glasses, she got to look at like really close to see something and read something. And like she has to get up close to this guy's face. Unless she's faking it and she doesn't actually have prescription. You guys can tell like right here, like when I'm recording, you can kind of see like where at the edge of the frame, there's a magnification that's happening in the reverse. I don't see any magnification in her glasses, so I don't think she's even wearing prescriptions. I've spoiled it for everybody. She's been faking it the whole time so she can get closer to him. Mark my words, that's the big twist. I've spoiled it, but they spoiled it themselves because they didn't show that magnification. So anyways, I'm looking forward to it. It looks super cute. Cannot wait. Moving on, an official website was open to announce the TV anime adaptation of the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You manga. They released a new visual for it, and the synopsis is Aijo Rintaro tried and tried again, but after asking 100 girls out on a date, he was rejected every single time. In desperation, he prays for guidance, only to be told by a god that his rejections were due to some cosmic error. Now, the god is going to set things right by making sure that Aijo gets 100 dates. Except, as things often do with gods, the dates come with a catch. 100 girls are destined to be Aijo's soulmate, and unless he returns their feelings each and every time, they'll die in a horrible accident. What? Sure enough, girls start confessing their love to Aijo left and right, but how is he supposed to choose? He doesn't want to go kill anyone. This is screwed up. When he looks at each potential soulmate, it feels like a bolt of lightning. Can someone really love 100 other people? Yes. Yes, they can. Anyways, this hilarious romantic comedies takes the harem concept to a wild extreme. You got some high standards to live up on because there's been some crazy freaking harems out there. I don't know, an interesting different take on the whole harem thing. It kind of reminds me more of Day Live because technically with all them, if he doesn't date them, they destroy the world. And so he has, what is he at, like 20 now? I don't remember. But we'll see. We'll see. It's been a while since we had a really solid harem show. Typically, they're kind of like throwaways, but we'll see. Moving on, the staff for the anime adaptation of Reborn as a Vending Machine, I Now Wonder the Dungeon, has revealed a new PV, a visual, and that the series will premiere in July. So this will be another summer show. So right around the corner. For those that don't know, this one's a middle-aged man with only one passion in his life meets a fitting end in a traffic accident. Meets a fitting end. Wait. Oh, so his only one passion is to be Isekai. That would make it why it would be a fitting end. So I guess that's what it is. Anyways, that's where most stories would end. But instead, this is when his story begins. When he's reborn as what he admired the most in life, a vending machine. Guy's got some really low standards. Lowered expectations. But his new lease on life happens to be the worst place possible. What can a vending machine do in a monster-infested dungeon when he can't speak or even move on his own? Interesting. The PV was cute. It does look like they changed the art style a lot, at least from what I remember from the light novel. The girl that was always carrying him on the cover looks really different, but not bad, but definitely changed things up a little bit. But I don't know. We'll see. An untalking vending machine. I'm guessing it's just going to tell a lot of stories around what's happening around him, but we'll see. Moving on, the official website for the anime adaptation of Shy Manga has revealed the series will debut in 2023, so it'll be this year. I was kind of interested when they were actually going to lock down at least a year for that series, but definitely looking forward to it. The staff for the anime adaptation of Reigns of the Seven Spellblades light novel has revealed a PV, key art, and a July premiere, so another summer show. It looks like we're already locking in summer right now. This is going to be animated by JC Staff, and this one's springtime at Kimberly Magic Academy. When new students begin their first year, one boy, clad in black robes with a white cane and a sword strapped to his hip, approaches the prestigious school. the young man, Oliver, must form a bond with a katana-wielding girl named Nano if he's to survive the dangers he's to face at the school that is anything but what it seems. I've had a couple people on the Discord already kind of pretty hyped for this one. I've literally never heard of it, so kind of shocked whenever I hear like a lot of hype around something I've never heard about, but we'll see how it turns out. I did get a kick out of the fact of the PV when I was watching, and I'm like, this looks like an isekai stalker, because like every other shot is him looking at this one girl, and I'm like, is he stalking her? That makes sense. He's obviously always watching out for this girl that he's supposed to, I guess, form a bond with. So there you go. So he is a stalker. I was right. This is kind of interesting news. It looks like Plex has recently added a new channel to its platform called Anime X HiDive. And yes, as you would kind of would lead you to believe, this is a channel that plays Sentai Filmworks titles all day, free, with advertisement. It's kind of like an actual television channel, which just kind of keeps playing it like a Toonami or something like that, which I think for the longest time, my co-host Chris has always kind of wanted something like this, like a channel you can turn on. It's literally like watching a television show, and it keeps just playing random anime. A really good thing to have in the background constantly playing. And as it looks like with this lineup, it's a lot of older stuff, but they're all classics in my eyes. Like we have Maid-sama, we have Princess Principal, Kokoro Connect, Clannad, Land of Lustrous, London Biori Repeat, Beyond the Boundary, My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu, Monthly Girl Nozaki-kun, Golden Time, and The Pet Girl of Sakura Sao. So besides the last one, because I hate the last one, the ending made me so mad. The rest of it's good. But no, really interesting stuff. Really cool way for Sentai Filmworks to sort of get people interested in anime, or at least get their attention towards HiDive. It's pretty much like free advertising, and they probably get in revenue from the advertising from the actual viewing of it. So really cool stuff. I think this is a really cool move for Sentai Filmworks and HiDive just to get their name out there. For those who don't know, they didn't watch the last episode of To Your Eternity second season. Yes, they did announce a new season for it. They also tweeted the announcement saying that the journey will continue with the new season's The World arc. The World. I'm sorry, I didn't say it right. Really cool though. I've been loving it. I just released a review of it, and it has some issues, but I think how it kind of built up and the ending of it was super good. And everything about the second season, what they introduced with it, has me super excited for the third season, so I cannot wait. And for our last bit of news, we have Kadokawa has announced the anime adaptation of My Happy Marriage light novel will be streaming on Netflix in 2023. They also released a new English visual for it. This one is born to a noble family. Mio is raised by her abusive stepmother and married off to Kyoka, a soldier so heartless his prior fiancé fled within 3 days into their engagement. With no home to return to, Mio slowly starts to open her heart to her cold and pale husband-to-be. Despite their rocky introduction, this might be her chance at finding true love and happiness. This one looks really heavy. I'll just say heavy. I watched the PV and I'm like, it's giving me a lot of vibes of Taisho Tomi Fairy Tale, like this girl just being thrown off to some random guy. There being like a really bad first impression, but slowly over time gaining that love and that relationship building. Now, of course, Taisho Tomi Fairy Tale does get eventually pretty heavy. It starts off pretty heavy too, but this one looks like it's going to be very grounded and very heavy to it. So I'll be curious to see if this is one that I'll love as much as I did Taisho Tomi Fairy Tale. If you have not watched that show, please go watch it. But I'm super excited for this one. I'll definitely be checking it out. And that's it. That's all the news I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this news bit. If you did, make sure to go down below and hit that like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what's the most interesting bit of news here. It helps out the algorithm and everything. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button so you get all my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more and you like what I do here, go down below. We have a link to our Patreon, tips link, super thanks, or you can become a member of the channel. I greatly appreciate everybody that supports the channel, and y'all take care.